Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Glad to be here.
Today we've got something maybe a bit unexpected. It's a compilation of interview questions for an assistant executive housekeeper.
Right. And at first glance, you might think, hotel housekeeping, how complex can it be?
Exactly. But we're going to use these questions as a window, really dig into them.
Yeah, to kind of unpack the whole operation behind the scenes, the stuff that ensures, a clean, comfortable hotel stay.
It should give us all maybe a bit more appreciation for what goes into it.
For sure. These questions, they aren't just HR tools. They really highlight the priorities, the challenges, the skills needed.
It's like an insider's look.
Exactly.
Right.
So for everyone listening, the goal here is to understand the complexities, see the management skills involved.
And maybe even pull out some lessons on efficiency or customer service that apply elsewhere, right?
Definitely. These principles are pretty universal.
Okay, let's dive in. The first, probably obvious question. What are your daily responsibilities as an assistant executive housekeeper?
And the example answer is broad. It's supervising staff, yes, but also inspections, handling guest issues.
Even getting involved in policy decisions, it's way more than just overseeing cleaning.
That's what struck me too, that blend of hands-on operational work and more strategic thinking.
Yeah.
It's not just about the now, it's about setting standards, making sure things run smoothly long-term. That policy part that hints at real leadership.
Makes sense. Which flows right into the next one.
Mm-hmm.
What is your experience in managing a housekeeping department?
Yeah, they want specifics. Overseeing teams, delegating tasks, managing suppliers. The example mentions 10 years experience.
10 years. That really tells you it's a serious management position.
Absolutely. It's not something you just step into. You need to understand team dynamics, how to motivate people.
And suppliers too, linens, chemicals, all that.
Exactly. Negotiation, procurement. It's complex.
Yeah.
That experience is what lets you handle the day-to-day pressures and maintain quality.
So building on that, how do they lead? The question is, how would you describe your management style?
And the example answer suggests a participative style.
Which is interesting. Involving employees, clear communication, feedback. I might have expected something more top-down.
Me too, actually. But it shows they value collaboration, getting buy-in from the team, making sure everyone's on the same page about expectations.
Okay.
And feedback, both ways, is crucial for improvement, right? It's just empowerment is key to getting that top-notch cleanliness.
Okay, so you've got this hopefully engaged team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the core job. How do you ensure that all guest rooms are clean and comfortable?
The example breaks it down. Thorough cleaning, obviously, but also stocking supplies properly.
And things you might not immediately think of, like room temperature, checking for drafts. It's quite detailed.
It really is. It shows a focus on the total guest experience, not just how it looks, but how it feels.
Right. Enough towels, comfy temperature. It's anticipating needs.
That attention to detail, like drafts, that shows a deep understanding of guest comfort. That's what makes a difference.
So how do you get the whole team delivering that consistently?
Yeah.
How do you ensure that all employees adhere to the highest standards of cleanliness?
Well, the answer points to a few things.
Yeah.
Strict protocols,
Okay.
regular inspections, which makes sense for quality control,
Right.
and ongoing training and education. It's not a one-and-done thing.
So it's an active process, setting clear benchmarks,
Yeah.
checking the work, and continuously reinforcing the standards and the why behind them.
Exactly. Building that culture of high standards.
But, things don't always go perfectly. Guests might complain. How do you deal with guest complaints about housekeeping services?
The approach seems sensible. Try to resolve it directly with the guest first.
Empowers the assistant manager.
Yeah, fix it quickly right there. But also know when to escalate it to a supervisor if needed.
So immediate problem solving, but also good judgment about when to loop in higher ups.
Precisely. It's about service recovery.
Keeping that team motivated, especially for what can be demanding work.
Mm-hmm.
How do you motivate your employees to provide excellent service?
The example mentions incentives, which you'd expect,
Yep.
but also regular feedback, recognition, and investing in their development, creating a positive environment.
That focus on growth is interesting. It's not just about rewards now, but showing commitment to their future.
Right. Feeling valued, seeing opportunities, that can be a huge motivator for engagement and ultimately better service.
Let's talk efficiency. What are your plans for improving the efficiency of the housekeeping department?
This is about looking ahead, streamlining procedures, maybe investing in better tech or equipment, and ensuring staff have the right training and resources. It's proactive.
It's not just about cutting corners, is it? It's optimizing.
Exactly. Making the best use of time and resources so the service quality stays high, maybe even improves. Well-trained staff with good tools are just naturally more efficient.
And speaking of tools, what are your thoughts on the use of technology in the housekeeping department?
Technology comes up specifically. Things like online check-in out.
How does that affect housekeeping directly?
Well, indirectly maybe, by smoothing guest flow, but more directly, mobile apps for task management.
Ah, okay. Assigning rooms,
Yeah,
tracking progress.
exactly. Better coordination, faster response times, and maybe better communication channels between staff and guests for requests. It's bridging front and back of house.
That leads nicely into the logistics. Scheduling. How do you manage employee scheduling to ensure adequate coverage? That sounds like a nightmare.
It can be. The example talks about a master schedule based on occupancy events,
Right.
then weekly schedules with the specific tasks, and crucially, trying to consider employee preferences.
That must help with morale.
For sure, it's a complex puzzle. Balancing hotel needs with staff availability and fairness needs good planning and clear communication.
And then there's the stuff itself. Supplies.
Yeah.
How do you handle inventory and budgeting for housekeeping supplies
Basic but critical. Tracking what you have, reordering on time.
so you don't run out of towels?
Exactly. And working with the executive housekeeper to manage the budget, get good prices from suppliers, financial responsibility.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Sensitive topic.
Mm.
What are the procedures for handling lost or damaged guest belongings?
Needs a clear, strict process. The example mentions a specific lost and found form, searching a database.
Right.
And if the item isn't found, offering a refund or replacement. It's about accountability.
Yeah. Building trust. Showing you take responsibility for guest property seriously.
Absolutely. A defined procedure provides reassurance.
Another unpleasant possibility. Pests. What are your plans for dealing with bed bugs or other pests? Ugh.
Nobody wants to think about it, but you need a plan. The answer emphasizes working with professional pest control.
Makes sense. Bring in the experts.
Yeah, identify the source, treat it properly, and then monitor. It's about being proactive and responsible, minimizing disruption.
Keeping the team skilled is obviously vital. How do you ensure that all employees receive proper training?
Formal training for new hires is mentioned, getting them started right, and then ongoing, continuing education. Keeping everyone up to date on best practices, new products, maybe safety refreshers.
Investing in people. That leads to better service.
Definitely. A well-trained team is more confident and competent.
Okay, staffing challenges again. People call in sick, people leave. How do you deal with employee absences or turnover?
Need strategies for that? Like having a system for advanced time off requests?
Right.
Maybe maintaining a pool of on-call staff for unexpected gaps?
Ah, okay. Flexibility.
And clear policies so everyone knows the procedure. It's about building resilience into your staffing plan.
Safety first, especially with cleaning chemicals.
Hmm.
What are the policies for handling hazardous materials?
Non-negotiable. Proper labeling, storing them correctly in designated secure areas.
Restricted access.
Restricted access,
Right there.
definitely. And comprehensive training for anyone who handles them. It's about safety culture and compliance.
Okay, last one. Big picture. What are your plans for the future of the housekeeping department?
This really sums it up. The example talks about continuing excellent service, naturally, but also boosting efficiency, bringing in new tech or processes, and developing a strong, dedicated team.
So it's forward-looking, continuous improvement.
Yeah, it shows strategic vision, not just maintaining, but evolving and improving the department's performance and reputation.
Wow. So stepping back from these questions,
Mm-hmm.
it really paints a picture, doesn't it? The assistant executive housekeeper role is incredibly multifaceted.
It really is. You need that meticulous eye for detail, yes, but also serious management skills, budget awareness, tech savviness.
And it all comes back to the guest experience.
Fundamentally, it underlines how crucial a well-run housekeeping department is to a hotel's success. You really see the complexity behind that clean room.
Definitely gives you a new appreciation.
Yeah, and whether you're in hospitality or not, there are takeaways here about leadership, managing teams, focusing on quality.
Problem-solving, efficiency.
Those are valuable principles anywhere.
So a final thought, maybe.
Yeah.
Think about all those touch points, all the coordination needed just for one hotel room to be perfect when you walk in.
Yep.
What other jobs, what other processes are working just as hard behind the scenes in our lives, totally unseen, to make things seamless?
That's a great question. A lot to ponder there.
It is. Well, thanks for diving deep with us today.
My pleasure. Always fascinating to peek behind the curtain.